40 days without AI to guarantee your safety. No fire, no food. No doctor, just the jungle. Predators and hunger gnawing at every cell. This is not where you come to show off. It's where you're exposed. From bravery to the limits of survival. 12 players. Most of them are 7 losers from last season. This time back to take revenge. But the jungle has no sense of justice. It starts with crocodiles. Lion. Until the team itself. I fought the closest. Everything can be a life-threatening thing. And when the deer came down, it didn't have time to enjoy. The scorpion's venom robs the first human of the journey. Welcome to the 40-day survival challenge amid harsh Africa. Programs for people over 18 years old. If you are under 18, please do not watch. Welcome to the program. Survival Challenge, 40 Days in the Wild Season 2. This is a continuation of the Survival Challenge program, 21 days. Most of the people involved this time, they were all 7 losers in previous seasons. There are 12 people in total. They will be divided into 4 small teams to take on the challenge of survival in the jungle, Africa Basin and Salati Basin. It's an extremely rich source of food, but also harbors countless predators. Deadly danger. The first team to appear was 2 men and 1 woman. They're all familiar with the program. It's the Lotus. Lacey and Clarence. Sen and Lacey are the ones who have been involved in previous seasons. Sen is a 45-year-old electrician. You gave up on the 31st, and that made you very upset. I've always struggled with that abandonment. I want to know how it feels, how to complete 40 days. After 7 defeats at the challenge 40 days ago, you're back. Just arrived at the venue. The whole BA quickly recognized this area. There's a lot of crocodiles. Lacey proposed to build a defensive fence to prevent large animals from entering. When you start acting, she still did not forget to remember the heavy contradictions of the final challenge. I hope everyone can focus on the competition this time, instead of arguing. 8 kilometers to the north is the second group, the beautiful women's team. They're Melissa, Kayla, and Lindsay. They'll have to find shelter, safe in high-risk grasslands. Just arrived at the challenge. Melissa said, last time you were on the 21-day challenge. You feel that you can overcome the challenge. 40 days. Last time there was a family thing. You missed the opportunity to participate. This time it can finally be done. 3 girls approach an area on the mountainside. We're going to build a shelter here for tonight. But the first thing they see are animal footprints and carcasses left over. At this moment a car suddenly arrived. Is a patrol officer of the program. They reported that 2 lions were ferocious. Just appeared in this area. Just 2 hours ago. They attacked 2 of the crew. They insist that you be very careful. Had to build a zoo system to protect the camp. You need to be aware of the risks. The wildlife here is really dangerous. This information makes the face BA girls become stressed. Obviously, the worry was on everyone's face. 8 kilometers to the west is the third group. Team to female 1 male. They are Sarah and Melanie. They're in the middle of a barren bush. The sun was scorching. It also makes AI tired. There's no foliage on your head to cover the sun. She looked into the lens and said Melanie was strong. Sarah is smart, combined with his excellent hunting skills. They are the perfect team. You said Melanie was beyond imagination. She's stronger than a cow. 5 kilometers northwest is the last team. 3-year team including Jeremy, Gary and Chun. The area they went to had a lot of animals they could hunt. But they also have to compete with other predators to save food. On the way to the talking leopards, shivering. You know how to make a sandwich. I can make a boar sandwich. That's the Mandarin hunting part for you. I love hunting. But it's in Africa now. They chose a flat area to build a shelter. In challenge 21 days ago, Gary survived alone for 16 days. I ended up eating the wrong fruit. I was forced to give up. But his weakness is his poor hunting ability. This time there were 2 hunters. So he took on the task of building the camp. With a career as a survival instructor, he is about to become once again forest nanny. When the night falls, 3 girls camp has been built. But also I can't forget the lion bite today. The four sides constantly echoed the roar of the animal community. Just a little movement, the whole group thinks the lion's coming. I was so scared that no one dared to sleep. Early morning the next day. Lindsay, there are a lot of footprints around the camp. It looks like the shelter needs to be reinforced. Turn to the men's team early this morning. Jeremy and Shun are going out hunting. Gary stayed at the camp to collect wood and set up a shelter. Gary said, "I'll stay as a shelter. If you want to go hunting, go." Jeremy and Shun come to a puddle. They found that there's activity in the water. It could be crocodiles. They came close to confirm. There's a lot of drag on the shore. It's clear that this place often has crocodiles hunting. At that time, on the discovery of a gazelle. You're a professional hunter, you shoot arrows. I didn't expect to shoot. I watched as the prey ran away. On the way back, they discovered it's about to be eaten badly. If you look closely, there is still some meat to eat. They brought it back to camp, put it on a pot lid to bake. Now their team can be said to be the happiest. 2 women and 1 man, the situation is not good at all. Melanie has severe sunburn. On the skin full of blisters. The sun is enough to cook a whole person. It's like being abandoned. So Melanie was forced to stay at camp. Sarah saw she had a severe sunburn. I picked some leaves to help her cover the sun. As long as the team doesn't give up, you are ready to help through. I could at least rest in the camp. If so, take on the task of strengthening the shelter. Move to the women's team. Melissa is now a key figure in the group. You're also responsible for finding food. She saw a herd of antelope on the road, but too far away. So I'm standing there imagining having a good meal. This time, Lindsay. There's a lot of fish in a small pond nearby, so food anxiety is temporarily relieved. The whole group went into the water to catch fish, but the fish are too slippery. I spent half a day without catching any. Meanwhile, the South Vietnamese are arguing about meat preservation. Residual. Gary left the meat in the camp. I think that would attract hyenas or lions. He said even when it's cooked and put in the fence. Protection is too dangerous. But the top insists, want to smoke meat in the camp. I'm worried that if it goes on for a long time, the meat will spoil. What is earned is not easy. I told Gary, I don't want to argue or fight with you. I'm just talking about safety. I think it's worth the risk. Gary finally gave in for the safety of the night. He found more wood to fortify the camp fence. When the night falls, a pack of hyenas came near the camp, of course. Fortunately, BA is not the same. Finally scared the hyena away. Into the 3rd day. Lacey is going to take her net and go fishing. You come to the river. See the discovery of fresh crocodile manure. Not far away was a 3-meter crocodile. It makes me feel like this place is dangerous. But Lacey was determined to keep exploring. It was Lacey's intrepid personality that made the lotus very admirable. Now Lacey discovered a wild fig tree. She immediately climbed up the tree, but the fruit is not ripe yet. The group decided to save it and come back later. When you climb down, you're still full of spikes. He helped her spit one by one. After 7 failures in the previous challenge, slugs have become a lot more cautious. I'm no longer the only one who knows how to work. This time, your goal is to get through the challenge. Clarence finds a dead animal floating on the water. I called everyone to pull it up. Even if the meat is bad, it can also be used as fishing bait. Please stand guard with the bow. And Clarence and Lacey went into the water and dragged the body out. When the body is pulled up, that smell is actually thousands of miles away. Stinking. Lacey said, I really appreciate having Clarence on the team. He's smart and he knows a lot about Africa. It's a valuable asset to your team. Time to move to the 4th day. Lacey, I've come up with a special kind of communication signal today. A whistle means you're okay. 2 hours is an emergency. 3 hours to get here immediately. Suddenly there were signals coming. There's definitely something very serious going on. Then it was Clarence who discovered a herd of deer. Lacey quickly holds the bow chase. The result is Clarence One missed shot scared the deer and ran away. Lacey is so hungry she can't run anymore. So she called the lotus to check the trap in the puddle. The slug goes to the water's edge and pulls up the trap. The result is nothing. Look at the hook again. Slugs say this is no different than crocodile fishing. And I don't even want to hook the bait in. There was nothing in my stomach for days. Dror says, I feel like I've got a few more days to go. Back at camp, she called a group meeting. We want people to talk about how to get food. But the oblique continues to remain silent. I think that will keep the team together. Even so, it only takes one person to give instructions. Back to the women's team. I haven't eaten for days. Even though there's a pond full of fish nearby. But BA hasn't caught any yet. Today Melissa thought of a way. You threw a body, animals into the puddle to lure the fish closer. It's a very nauseating sight. In the women's team, Melanie is still resting in the camp. You feel very uncomfortable and filled with guilt because I think I'm pulling my team back. But Sarah insists that you don't worry. It's better than giving up so we don't have people. Sarah Kidney, he even thought of a way to help her recover faster. He was the only man on the team. Take on that responsibility immediately, while the other 3 teams all carry the bow and arrow. Only you use a long spear. And soon after, I saw 2 wild boars moving. You immediately chase, but the wild boar ran back to its lair. You're going to crawl right into the cave. To destroy them, I just poked my head in, and there's a lot of bones here. And into deep line. I heard something inside. Now the boar escaped from another exit. You have to hand that back. Hunger becomes despair. People are getting a little bit hungrier. Every day I get more hungry. Back to the men's team. Jeremy and Chun by the water. Using homemade spikes as hooks for fishing. Drop down and try one. Immediately there's a fish bite. It's exciting to have fish here. It wasn't long before Jeremy caught a pretty big fish. More than 2 p.m. Gary took advantage of the 2 while they were away. Take the bone marrow. I don't think the other 2 will eat this. You call yourself a hyena in the forest. Everything that can be eaten is eaten. I put the marrow on the lid and grill it. I was eating well when I heard the sound. Jeremy and John are back. Hurry up and clean the scene. Fear of being discovered will make them uncomfortable. You've just returned to camp. Immediately bring the processed fish to cook with a pot lid. Are you kidding Gary about wanting to eat fish heads? Come to the team, 2 women, 1 male. People are resting in the camp. Suddenly the animals, drinking water off the river's edge, run away. People say something's running amok. It's not clear which direction it came from. No one understands why animals run around like that. But luckily the fire wasn't out. So the panic-stricken animals also dodge their range. To the 5th day, Lacey and Clarence are out looking for food. Suddenly they saw a small deer, intact in front of you. So lucky. Surprisingly, it feels warm to touch. I just died completely edible. The 2 men hurried the deer back to the camp. But from a distance a leopard kept an eye on their prey. Turn to the female group. It's Thursday. They still have nothing left. People are hungry. It's really hard to catch those catfish by hand. Now BA is going to use the bow and arrow to test shoot Sao. 3 people decided to try using arrows to catch. The fish did hit. So the food problem has been solved. 2 women and 1 man are also setting traps in the lagoon using tree branches to push fish into the net. But after 5 days of hunger, having just done a few moves is exhausting to give up. You said you got down fast. They're in the middle of the African wilderness. I don't see any living creatures around here. Back to the men's team. Jeremy had severe abdominal pain and started vomiting. I'm worried I won't last 40 days. Gary and Chun are also worried about your condition. Afraid of losing a companion in the middle of the slug's team. After bringing the deer back, the whole group is barbecuing in the camp. That's really lucky. People just eat and constantly praise. Meat is the top of the list. Until it's late at night. They still continue to eat deer meat. Suddenly, a scorpion crawled onto Clarence's leg and stung him. The piercing pain ran out all over the leg. I immediately panicked. I remember my last challenge in Africa. 21-day challenge. Injured and carried out on a stretcher. I think something's attacking me. I need a doctor urgently. This time, I absolutely don't want another accident. To the 6th day. Clarence's condition is no better. You're starting to have heart palpitations. Dizziness. Eventually the program's medical team had to intervene. After inspection, they found your blood pressure was too high. If prolonged can lead to stroke. But Clarence didn't want to give up. I will definitely try to hold on. You said you won't leave. As long as you can fight. I will continue to stay. And I'm going to complete this 40-day challenge. 12 kilometers from the challenge area. The 13th player. Eyes are on their way to the army. I went through the first 5 days alone. In this dangerous forest. Tried to hunt many times but returned empty-handed. So hungry that the intestines spasm. I can't wait to find the right group to join forces. Meanwhile, Clarence, despite his poor health, tried to join the labor force. I don't want to be a burden. I want to continue helping my team. But standing up now is dizzy. Lacey can't ignore it anymore. Call the medical team again. After inspection, they found that your blood pressure was continuing to rise. The medical team forced him to withdraw from the competition. Before you go, tell your team, take good care of each other. Clarence, once again taken out of the playing area on a stretcher. I just caught the whole deer. I can't even enjoy a good day. The whole team had to split up. Clarence, he also became the first player to leave the competition. Okay, this episode is here. See you in the next episode tomorrow. Heart, calculus and educational lessons. Program this time. It's not just a show of strength. It's a limited experiment of physical and mental suffering. The scariest thing in a survival challenge. Season 2 is not a lion. Crocodiles or scorpions that are hungry. Mental stress and feeling left behind. A past is nothing if the present is broken. Many players return with the desire to correct the mistake from last season. But stop bushy. It doesn't matter if you've been a hero or a loser. No debt to pay. Whether you survive today or not. Clarence was dragged out of the competition. I have to retreat this time. Because of the increased blood pressure and the scorpion sting. You are not weak, you are brave. Go back to touching your old fears. But nature is not tolerant. 1 or 2 compassion, the most powerful weapon in the midst of hell. Where there is no comfort, the easier it is to freeze. But it's moments like Sarah. Take care of Melanie. Or Lacey helps you pull out the spikes that remind us that survival is not just about living, it's about being together, survive together. Harsh challenges create unsung heroes. People who don't need to show off. Silently help you stand up at your weakest. BA. No one can do it all. But they also have to do their part. Melanie, when the sun burns, the camp is lost. Melissa can't fish forever. It's a reminder that there's no almighty AI in the wild. Only if everyone knows their share. If you help your team, the team will survive. 4. AI also has limits. It's a matter of whether you realize it sooner or later. The slug has failed 7 times because it has been working backwards. Observe, avoid causing conflict. Clarence is still trying. Does not become a burden even when strength is exhausted. The opposite. Jeremy has a stomachache. Gary stealthily eats as an example of the consequences. When body and morality are exhausted. It's our advice. 1. There's no boundary between danger and danger. Only you can prepare or not. A subjectivity that will kill you in the forest. As well as in real life. 2. The most reliable person is not the best. It's someone who doesn't leave you when you're at your weakest. BA. Don't let your will to survive be overwhelmed by your emotions. To be hurt. You can lose to crocodiles. But don't lose by beating yourself up. 4. Don't use kindness all the time without being heard. Learn how to protect your energy. Year. 7 defeats is not the end. It's a lesson to learn next time not to die prematurely. Clarence withdrew. But you're a more spiritual survivor than many. Never dared to enter. Sum up. Survival Challenge. 40 Days Season 2 is not just a show. Television. It's the harsh sow of real life itself. Where you have to fight, fall down, get up. Working together, and sometimes you have to leave to live.